Let's talk about AI for a second. So, how are you guys using it, if at all? And if
I don't touch it. I'm going to spare you this. It's so much AI stuff. I'm not a trusting person of AI. I'm finding things snuck in there. I think information's great. I think in general, if I ask it a question, it gives me great answers and solutions. Even using my Bible, I'll use it, to do a deeper dive than I'm already understanding. I'm reading a great book on Noah's Ark and all these finds, and it just teaches me more about the scientists and the archaeologists and all that kind of stuff. As far as my business goes, I am AI. So I'm the one who gets the calls from everybody around town, around the state on information. I've been doing it for so long. So and it doesn't change that much. It's not such an industry that, you got to go find secrets. So AI for me is, I'm old, dude. I'm 61 years old.
That's okay, but that's why that's why we're friends, though, right? That's
Yep.
because we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that. Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Pierre Tax and Accounting, led by CPA Eric Pierre, a seasoned accounting and tax expert with years of experience helping individuals and businesses navigate complex financial landscapes. Whether you need personal tax planning, business tax strategy, bookkeeping, or financial planning support, Eric and his team are committed to helping you protect and grow your financial future with clarity and confidence. To get expert guidance you can trust, check out Pierre Tax and Accounting at pierreaccounting.com. We'd also like to thank Data Driven Decisions, founded by Katy Forster, for sponsoring today's show. Data Driven Decisions specializes in accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, and advisory services tailored specifically for small businesses and entrepreneurs who want financial clarity and peace of mind. From KPI reporting to fractional CFO support and QuickBooks training, Katy's team brings big firm expertise with a personal touch. Visit them at datadriven.coach to see how smart financial support can make all the difference in your business growth. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Bible. I'm joined by Bob Haan, who's a friend of mine from Rise Up Kings. Bob and I had a fun experience down in Dallas together at an event called The Forge, where we got to know each other pretty well. And Bob is a serial guy. He's got multiple companies. He's in construction, plumbing, all the above. He's got, what Bob, you said was FEC Plumbing, Ace Plumbing, and what was the third one?
World Plumbing.
World Plumbing,
Mm-hmm.
and FEC Construction.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. Well, Bob, tell us how you got into the space, man. You kind of have a few different things going on. How'd you get into the business?
Oh my gosh, that goes back to 42 years ago. I know I don't look that old, but 18 years old. I was working between semesters, summer breaks as a plumber, just learning the trade. And around, I think I went on my own when I was 18. So I did it probably when I was 16 and 17 through high school. And then college, semester breaks, I ditch home, work, and lied on my application at the state of Florida or state of Michigan, and got my license, which is supposed to be 21, but I did it at 18. Went, took the state exam, got my license, and I've owned plumbing ever since. Either Michigan or Florida. In 2000, we moved down here. I bought 3 plumbing companies, merged them just because employees were impossible to get here during that construction boom. So prior to that, I was in the oil industry. I was in the architectural engineering industry, all in Michigan. Worked in Chicago in plumbing. So kind of all over the place. But really since 2000, right here in Florida, and evolved into World Plumbing. And about 5 years ago, well, the year of COVID, the year before COVID, might be 19 or 2020, I went and got my general contractor's license. So you can build 100-story building or a small little doghouse, whichever. I got a license to do it all. And I started a project for 2 4-story buildings on Gulf Shore Boulevard here. That's all done, finished. People living in there for a couple of years already. Continue to keep the plumbing going, keep the plumbing busy. And that's not too hard here in Naples. There's a little bit of a lull here. We had a lull in 2007, 2008, but right now there's a little slowdown, but nothing too insurmountable. Keeping the guys plenty busy. So it's just been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of work, a lot of history with different trades, different. I don't know. I don't know what else to say there. We do have a gas company. I forgot that. We have a propane gas company that.
A gas company.
Yeah, we do propane gas. It's kind of a big deal down here. We drop in tanks. All of our houses that we plumb, we do it. We do gas tanks and for pool heaters, ranges, fire pits, water heaters. Almost every water heater on these homes down here now is outside, so they're gas external water heaters. Because space is everything in Florida. You don't have closets; you want them for storage. So we don't have basements like we're all used to up in the north. So down here, storage is important. So things like water heaters get pushed outside. So that's kind of the nature of the beast. Always did gas in Michigan. Gas was part of plumbing, so it was never. It was always part of our business. Down here, it's not. Down here, it's kind of like taboo. Nobody wants to touch gas. They're all scared of it. So it's fun business. Yeah. What else can I say?
Bob, what is, I just out of curiosity, because I know you're a stud, what is the like overall sales, top line revenue? You don't have to give us your P&L, but like out of all the businesses, like what did you guys do top line?
Uh, I never do this. I never, ever, ever give out
You can
numbers.
give me a ballpark. You can give me a ballpark.
Uh,
Is it over 50
and,
million?
well, we're about to top our 2000. Let's go forward. So it's not big talk, but it's goals and dreams. Our 2026 goal is 140 million, and the next 5 years is 680 million. That'll be just construction. Plumbing, I'd like to dial it down, pay less attention to it. Really, honestly, we're trying to move that off. I believe in ESOPs, employee stock ownership programs. So we're trying to move that into the guys that have worked for me for 20 plus years. So we're basically, I should say it in a nutshell, we're giving that company away. Love to treat our employees well and keep them going. Um, so I'll babysit it. It'll be my license for a few years, and then hopefully during the construction of our big project, they will be plumbing all of our buildings and the projects. We have a 40-unit boutique hotel, 275,000 square foot grandstand building, 110 car condo units. We have a 4.5 mile racetrack. We side by side racing.
Now, Bob, do you also do residential? Or is it all new development, construction, stuff like that?
I'm starting a brand new home in Aquiline Shores here, which is kind of Port Royal. It is not Port Royal, but it's right next to it. It's a high end home. We're tearing it down. I also got nine condo remodels starting Monday, commercial units. So yeah, we're kind of in all of it, and typically it's friends or business associates that we've picked up work from. I couldn't find me on the internet, couldn't find me on a website, couldn't find me on a Facebook. You couldn't find me. I don't think I've ever had a marketing person in my life. I've never paid for marketing. I've never paid for advertising. I don't even have business cards. A guy asked me a couple of weeks ago, he said, "Hey, give me your business card." I don't have one. I just, I don't know. It's just been kind of a personality. Um,
Okay,
who am
hold on a sec. That's fascinating to me. The fact that you've never done traditional marketing, because I hear all about, and now that I, target construction guys, plumbers, HVAC, all that stuff for my podcast, I've started to get targeted by all these agencies trying to help them grow and scale. So what has it been, man? Has it just been golf? Like, how have you built the relationships that led to the business?
relation? I would say, I mean, golf doesn't hurt. But I wouldn't say a lot came off the golf course. I would say um, the company just due diligence, just going out, doing the work, earning a good name. Um, Work just, honestly, it just comes. I don't know if it's Naples. It is probably Naples. It's the nature of the beast, but we work out of the state. We work out all over the state, so it's not just. But I would say everything we do out of state or out of town is related to Naples. They're contractors from Naples, um, so it's. I think it's just, and people shouldn't talk about themselves, and I don't like to do it. So, but I think it's integrity. I think it's following through with your word. It's being who you say you're going to be. And there's tough days. There's tough days that hit you right between the eyeballs, and you got to take the lumps with the good. But in general, if you come out on the other side of it, um, and you've done the right things and you've backed up, like we own a plumbing company. You're going to damage somebody's house. You're going to have a leak. It's just inevitable. It's the law of averages. Um, I can think of one down at Port Royal, which is our rather very, very exclusive area here. 2 days before Thanksgiving, we flooded a home. They were moving in for Thanksgiving. They're going to have their big family, and ended up flooding master bathroom and something else. Pipe hidden in the wall, busted open. They had to go to a hotel, stay, and we got them in by Christmas. We had to tear that whole thing apart. But we stay with it. We don't run away. We don't walk. We don't ignore it. We put it back better than we found it, even though it was brand new. And I work with builders that are so high in integrity and so high in quality. It's just kind of a. I think it's. I just don't walk away. I don't leave people hanging, and I do a lifetime warranty. So I don't. I did homes in 2000. I'm still going and fixing something, or we'll do something. But they're building, buying something new, and we're the first guys that come to mind. So
Yeah.
so that's kind of where all that stems from.
What tell me about the acquisition. So that's interesting to me as well. I know that so where I work in Denver, I'm like literally a stone's throw away from probably 10 PE firms. I've talked to quite a few guys who are trying to grow by acquiring other companies. What was the decision there, and where did the capital come from to do that?
Um, the first acquisition, we did an SBA loan, and that was rather easy. I don't know if around 2000, 1999, 2000, things were pretty mellow, but anybody going to Naples could have probably borrowed 110%. And prior to 2007, probably could borrow 120% or 130. Who knows what the banks were giving away? But SBA was pretty diligent but lenient, and had good credit, good ratings, good everything. Business we bought had great numbers. So after that, it was cash. We did okay, but we couldn't get employees, so you had to buy them. So that was the only reason I bought the other two plumbing companies.
Interesting.
Because honestly, the first one I bought here was 2.4 million, and it was 13 employees. And in 1 year, we were 110 employees. So I regretted buying it because building it was me, and I wasted 2.4 million bucks buying something I could have built in a year, even greater. But I learned my lesson. Then the other two we bought, they were smaller groups, 3 or 4 plumbers. Was the first one that was like maybe 2.5 million.
Yeah.
And then the next one was a little bigger acquisition. That was 13 employees, 14 employees. That was probably 4 million. But that was just for employees. Matter of fact, the work they came with, I dumped it. I didn't even need the work. It was mostly service type stuff. So it was too complicated, too hard. And we didn't have the service system to back it up. We didn't have the office personnel, the work trucks and stuff like that. So it was kind of, so that was the premise of getting those. Yeah.
Hmm. Bob, what's something right now in your business you feel like is going really well, and then what's something you feel like is like a sticking point that you're trying to fix?
Going well. That's always easy because it, I would say the construction side's going very well. We have a very good group of investors that are, it's cash based, it's not bank, no loans. Um, the selling point of that whole project is 1.3 billion. So that one there has a great, um, the cash flow from any man would dream of. The partners in the business are the investors. So whenever cash has got to be made for the draws for the subs, we've taken on a philosophy of paying every 2 weeks. So that gets me the best subs in town. So we pay on the first and we pay on the 15th of every month. So if you get a bill in between the first and the 15th, you're paid by the 30th. If you get a bill in from the 15th to the 30th, you're paid by the first. We're not going to an owner for a draw. They're approving them as we go. So, and they're all budgets and they're all agreed contracts. So it's all controlled costs. So that side's easy. The tough part right now is cash flowing the subcontracting businesses, which are the gas and the plumbing. Those are tough cash flow right now, and you're getting me 1 or 2 days before the end of the year. So you got to figure, hey, is this builder gonna or a homeowner, are they going to fund it? Do they want to get it into the 2025 books, or are they going to drag it out over into the 2026 books? Either way is okay with me, other than cash flow. So I would say cash flow is the hard part right now.
So what? Give me an example of that because I don't know how that business works. So you're saying like you've sold the tank or whatever, but the owner has not funded the deal, and so it's kind of like you have to do the work on your own dime in a way.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately, my wife's within earshot of this because it's anti her philosophy. I don't do deposits. I don't do I don't do any of that. So yeah, we fund 100%, carry the load. In essence, we're the bank until we get a draw. The way it should work is 30, 45 days. We're stretching 90 to 120 days on some of these because we're doing such large projects and homes. The draws are being drawn out due to the number of draws allowed, or the builders just not doing well in the office, getting the draws out, and they're dragging their feet. And fortunately, but unfortunately, plumbing's kind of the first guy on the job site with the sewer and water, and then the underground. So we're the footings and cement guys. And we're the last guys out to turn the lights because we're putting in the fine fixtures at the very end. So, and we're there the whole time. So we're in every draw. We're always trying. So it's very heavy carry cash.
Yeah.
Any given day we're over $1 million in 90 to 120. That's not healthy.
Yeah. So there's a significant period of time where basically you're underwater on the deal. Like you're kind
We're
of
always
technically.
underwater.
Yeah.
We're always underwater. I mean, we're just fortunate to have supply partners that work with us.
Yeah.
And they let us go out, 60, 90 days without fees, penalties, and so forth. So
Yeah.
kind of rare because when you get over 30, 31 days, guys want to start clicking the interest clock. So, and penalties and fees. These guys have treated us very well, and we've had long term relationships. So, like 2007, 2008, we had to literally file bankruptcy with one of our companies because of um, the Bear Stearns, the whole economic situation.
Yeah.
So that ended up, I had 7 builders leave the state, drove away. We were owed almost 2.5 to $3 million, and vendor that I owed suppliers, I was never going to see it. So the builders left town. We're sitting there holding the things, the bills to our suppliers. Well, fortunately, when we did this, we did a Chapter 13 liquidation, which meant assets went and took care of the bills if they were collected. So, but we planned this out in a good way, with great attorneys, and we never missed a day of business. So we opened a new business, put all the good work in that business, plus 91 days, and then you ride out the 90 days inside the business that got hurt, and then the bankruptcy starts there. But we're working all the way through it, doing the right things. Fortunately for us, the good work was so much that we finished literally, and this might be why I keep getting good work. We finished every single project that was put into the bankruptcy that we could have walked away from. And we paid every supplier back every penny, even though we walked away from it in a free bankruptcy. So I don't mean free, but we were freed of our debt. So our suppliers look at us and go, hey, when you could have stuck us for 1.8 million, you worked with us and brought it back.
Yeah.
So it took time. It took a lot of time and drive, but I thought the integrity was important. So
Yeah, that's great. Let's talk about AI for a second. So, how are you guys using it, if at all?
I don't,
And if
I don't
go-
touch it. I'm going to spare you this. Um, there's so much AI stuff. I'm not a trusting person of AI. I'm finding things snuck in there. I think information's great. I think in general, if I ask it a question, it gives me great answers and solutions. Even using my Bible, I'll use it, to do a deeper dive than I'm already understanding. I'm reading a great book on Noah's Ark and all these finds, and it just teaches me more about the scientists and the archaeologists and all that kind of stuff. As far as my business goes, I am AI. So I'm the one who gets the calls from everybody around town, around the state on information. I've been doing it for so long. So and it doesn't change that much. It's not such an industry that you got to go find secrets. So AI for me is, I'm old, dude. I'm 61 years old.
That's okay, but that's why that's why we're friends, though, right? That's
Yep.
because we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that. Yeah, yeah. It's not
How
all bad.
how do you think AI could fix or work for me? Let me ask that question.
So I think so. Any business owner that wants to kind of be with it, right, with I would say they call it an AI agent, right? So here's a simple one that a lot of people are familiar with: an AI customer service representative, right? And so I was actually talking to a guy in my forum, a buddy of mine who has an HVAC company, and he's like, "Yeah, we did an audit of our phone system, and we missed 65 calls over the last 2 weeks." I'm like, "Okay, well, that represents dollars that we could have had." And a lot of people are like, "Well, my people want to talk to a human," and I'm like, "Okay, I get that, but when a human's not available, which happens, right, especially after hours, you think about that, why wouldn't you have someone who works 24/7, doesn't need to eat, sleep, or take a break, and you would not know it's not a human." So that's a very simple one, but when you look at your business, like, there's things that you just kind of do every single day. So the name of my company is Freedom AI, and I started it after Rise Up Kings, after the refinery, because God told me to create freedom for business owners. And so you think about stuff like new client paperwork or invoicing, accounting, bookkeeping. Like, these are things that people don't love to do, right? And I would never automate or replace the human touch. I think that we should be doing more of that. So I look at, like, what are the 2 or 3 things in your business that are taking you away from that, right? What would happen if your sales guy, and this is how I see it, Bob, it's like, your best sales guy, why wouldn't you want to leverage his capacity? How many hours a week is he wasting, right, on paperwork and stuff like
I
that?
don't have a sales guy.
Yeah, you're the best sales guy. Yeah. So, but that's an example. So an AI employee of some sort, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, you mentioned the phone. We don't even have a landline at our
Yeah.
office.
Yeah. You're definitely unique in that you don't really have websites, stuff like that. But there'll be something. I'm gonna find something. We'll figure it out.
Now,
Yeah.
I will say this: there's a uh, member of Rise Up Kings that wants to. He's a plumbing service. You know BJ, so I think we can say that BJ wants me to open up a service um, branch,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where that will be desperately needed because I will not receive a phone call. I will not answer a phone call. I will not,
To
even though
come
there's
answer someone's request to fix their water heater.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay. Gotcha.
if there's an automated way to handle that, I'm all about it because
Yeah. 100%.
so the other thing is my wife has been on me big time too with all my history of knowledge and fixing and tearing
Yes.
and putting in. Why are you not available on podcasts, on doing your
Yeah.
own teaching, doing YouTube?
Yeah.
I go on YouTube. I work on the boat. I did my own steering. I had to replace some gaskets, and I did it all. It was a
Yeah.
$2,800 bill from the mechanic. I did it for 48. So there's ways that I should be doing more,
Yeah.
and I don't know the income streams there. And
Well,
she's like, you could be making.
there you go. I'll use my buddy Eric from my pod. Eric Meyer. He's a personal injury attorney. I know nothing about that, right? I'm a financial advisor by trade. So we are automating Eric's entire practice, soup to nuts, from the time someone gets hit by a bus or slips on a banana peel at Walmart. Everything is automated leading up to trial or settlement. And what we're going to do then is sell those automations to other personal injury attorneys. We're going to get Eric out of the rat race where he no longer has to do personal production. And he's just going to be in a position where he coaches other personal injury attorneys. And so something like that, you can literally create a course like that, sell it, and have it, a subscription-based YouTube channel or whatever. And you could make a, extra 5, 10, 15,000 bucks a month just working on your boat. So there you go.
Well, I used to teach a construction class for getting licensed. I used to teach continuing education up in Michigan at a college. So there's so much that can be taught on this thing, the computer. I do all my well, not all of it. I do probably 50% of my continuing education on the computer. By others, I'm paying someone else to teach me my continuing education. So
Yeah.
I'm not debating the value in it. I do live in a very small bubble as far as marketing goes, as far as sales goes. So I'm not here to argue what the real world has going. It's definitely needed. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
I go on every website for products that we're like, how in the heck do we put that in? How does that work? So I agree with you. I'm not fighting.
So that, you brought up something interesting. That's an easy one. And this is, I think, where a lot of marketing agencies will be going is getting your business featured on chat. So AI search is every 6 months it's doubling. So right now it represents about 10% of all search. And I realize that I'm 40 and I found my last 3 contractors to fix stuff in my home on chat, right? And so it's actually pretty easy to get your business featured on chat. You don't need this amazing website. You don't have to pay Google thousands of dollars a month. Just like 3 or 4 things that you can do. And if you do those things, then you could typically be the top one. So that's another offering that we're starting to do with service-based businesses is getting them featured on Gemini, Chat, Claude, all that different stuff. Yeah.
Well, I'm not anti. I'm just old-fashioned.
I think what you needed is someone just, as persistent as you to to bug you about it. That's what I'm here for. I like that.
I can't believe you're beyond here.
Yeah, I know. Okay, last question. You and I know each other through Rise Up Kings. I always try to get like a little blurb on how it's changed your life and business. Talk to us about how Ruck has changed life, business, ministry, all the above.
Oh boy. I just got done with Life by Design.
Oh, cool. We're about trying to go this summer. So.
Yeah. So it was being through all these events, Refinery, RuckCons, Forges, Life by Design, working, I think 3 events. I'm working the Forge coming up. I think you are too, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm going to try and do one of the other ones probably in February. Yeah.
So, and then, there's a push to get me into the Coaches Academy. Not to coach. I don't want to coach. I'm not that guy. But I may need, I wouldn't mind the information. So that'd be one of the last. And then of course, my wife and I to elevate someday, but Rise Up Kings has done so much for my, faith base, dedication, commitment to read the word, prayer, journal, that the mornings have just been making the days so much easier. There's a peace, there's a calm, and it's been an incredible for me journey of learning. Reading the Bible is one thing, studying the Bible is another, and that's what's changed for me. And it's been a deep dive, leading 2 Manna Rise studies here. Plus, I have a group of 53, and I also have a men's Bible study on Wednesday morning, and they've all been gigantuous growth as far as knowledge and where it came from and why. And it's just the Holy Spirit being present during all of that, where I didn't give God time to talk to me. I talk to God all the time. What's going on? Why did you do this? Please help me here. Please fix this. Please that. And I forgot it's His plan, not mine. So I think prayer is really brought back. that it's taught me so much more. I got a long way to go about my wife. I would tell you Life by Design taught me more about women and how to treat them that I haven't learned in the 60 years prior. My dad was an old-fashioned Dutch guy, and my mom was just that dedicated, quiet lady, and I thought things should be that way. And I did a Rise Up Kings event I did with women, which was Life by Design, and believe me, brother, it was so eye-opening. It was I think that was the biggest reason I was there, was to learn from them what's needed, what my wife's talking about. It was taboo to me. It was like, I don't understand. And now I'm starting to understand. Even in the last 24 hours, we had a difference and where I didn't understand what she was asking, what she needed to feel calm and quiet in her heart. And I'm like, I gave you the answers. What more do you need from me? And it's just not handled right. So Rise Up Kings is, if anything, Rise Up Kings has given me an alert button to say, hey, God wanted it a different way than you were doing it. And the accountability. Oh my gosh. I mean, Jeff's on his way here right now. He's going to be here in 2 hours.
I love that.
Yeah, he'll be here for a week. It's given me one of the better friends I've ever had. And then many other, the forum group, that I got fortunate. I got me a hot forum group, 7 guys. So it's been a very awesome, it's been an awesome walk and a growth in my faith. Business wise, it gave me more attention towards the details. Just I don't use a lot of business. I haven't used the business coaching, but just looking at some of the forms that Skylar's use, the goal setting, some of the collection things that have happened, it's helped me out with intent. I was always afraid that I was going to offend somebody, and Rise Up King says, hey, no, this is it's given me some teeth in my bite, and it's given me some backbone that even though I'm 6'6" and 280 pounds, think I'm big, some of that stuff I'm soft on, and it needed a little boost, and it did that. Fitness for sure. And family, oh my gosh, it's put me in places with my kids that I need, with 8 children, and I think we have 7 grandkids. There's a lot missed being a single dad for 14 years in the middle of that. A lot of things needed to be addressed, and Rise Up Kings has opened all those doors. So it's been incredible in all 4 of our pillars, and in my life. So couldn't plug it any better.
Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, Bob. I guess you kind of don't have a web presence. If people wanted to learn more about who you are and what you do, what would they do?
I don't know. Kind of an enigma that way.
Just don't even bother.
I mean, they're welcome always to email me. I am on Facebook, and I have a lot of Rise Up Kings buddies there and a ton of friends. But other than that, I just don't do a lot of social media. I'm not all that other stuff. I don't even know what they're all called. So it's just, but I'm always welcome on an email or a text. So, and then you're free to publish that. I don't have any secrets. So.
All right. Cool. We'll put it in the show notes. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, buddy.